Has the Arab world finally decided to pay attention to their brothers and sisters in Gaza? Let's see if it's genuine or not. I'm Tala Traveling Clat, your sweet Zionist prince. This is a clip coming from Memory TV. If you don't support them or subscribe to them on YouTube, I highly recommend you do right now. They're incredible. They're doing God's work in exposing the hypocrisy of the Arab world. Let's check it out.
لازم يوقف بقى. اللي بلش هيدي المعركة بلشها الجهاد الإسلامي مش إسرائيل.
عفوا.
اللي بلش هاي المعركة الجهاد الإسلامي، قاعدين الجهاد الإسلامي وحركة حماس بمصر عم يتفاوضوا على وقف إطلاق نار منذ الخميس، الجمعة الصبح بتقرر الجهاد الإسلامي لوحدها تقوس على 2 إسرائيلية، واستجرت هذه المعركة على قطاع غزة. كفى بقى تجارة بدماء غزة. هن أجبروا على معركة ما لهم ولا مصلحة فيها. غزة انسحبت منها إسرائيل انسحاب أحادي سنة 2005. مشروع الإخوان المسلمين المجرم ممثلا بحركة حماس والمشروع الإيراني المجرم ممثلا بالجهاد الإسلامي حول غزة إلى مشروع حرب أهلية فلسطينية. معلش نحكي الأمور مثل ما هي. السنوار رئيس حركة حماس اليوم هدفه رام الله مش إسرائيل، هدفه المعركة مع محمود عباس مش مع إسرائيل. إسرائيل انسحبت من غزة بال 2005 أو لم تنسحب؟ انسحبت أو لم تنسحب؟ انسحبت أحاديا أو لا؟
ولكن استمرت الهجومات واستمرت
لم تستمر الهجومات ابدا ابدا. حركه حماس حولت غزه، لم تستمر الهجومات ديما. معلش تحكي الامور مثل ما هي.
سامع بسنه 2009
كيف بلشت الحرب؟
سامع بسنه 2014 شو عم تحكي يا نادين؟
كيف بلشت الحرب؟ انسحاب اسرائيلي من غزه كان يجب على الفلسطينيين ان يحولوا هذه الفرصه إلى مشروع للوفاق الوطني الفلسطيني. راحت حماس على انقلاب ب 2007 وعلى حرب أهلية. بدل ما نروح على مشروع الدولتين صار في عندنا مشروع 3 دول، دولة الإخوان المسلمين بغزة ودولة محمود عباس برام الله ودولة إسرائيل بإسرائيل. طالما في 3 دول لن يكون هناك حل الدولتين. هذه المقاومة بدها توصل لمحل تفهم وتعقل وتقول ما هو المشروع الطبيعي لحل المسألة الفلسطينية. كل شيء عملته حماس وكل شيء عمله الجهاد الإسلامي إنه ضربوا كل فرص السلام وانتهوا بسجن اسمه سجن غزة.
Am I supposed to sit here and clap hands so we have one normal speaking person from the Arab world? This is not to discount him, but this is like, am I supposed to stand here and be like, wow, there's an Arab who understands basic math. There's a person from the Arab world who understands cause and effect. I'm so proud of you, oh glorious Arab man. I don't know who he is. This is Mr. Nadim Koteich explains how Hamas and PIJ have been provoking Israel into, again, I'm not gonna sit here and discredit him. I'm not gonna say that what he did here on screen is like a disservice. It's great to see that there's somebody with brain cells operating at positions of leadership and influence in the Arab world. But what am I supposed to sit here and be like, holy fuck, the man reinvented the wheel? Every Arab should have this opinion. Every Arab should be able to look at the Palestinian issue and be like, oh yeah, they're fucking doing this to themselves. Oh, right. The starting 15 million wars from the second you receive independence. This is my main issue now. We have this scenario where the international community has decided we are going to reward the Palestinian people for terrorism for the last 20 years. I mean, it's been longer than 20 years, but for the last 20 years, terrorism in Gaza, we are going to unilaterally decide to support the creation of a Palestinian state. And I just don't understand the cause and effect thing. If the second Palestinians receive independence, which they did, in Gaza and some areas of the West Bank, the first thing they run and do is terrorism. Why in the world? Just let's do simple maths, innit? Just fucking simple maths. Why in the world would giving Palestinians independence and giving them their own state stop that from happening? Or is your perspective that we need to give them independence, have their own state, and then give them their own army so they can attack Israel stronger? Israel's still going to win. And then what? Can you guys think past 5 seconds? Is it possible for you to do some element of forward thinking? Let's just run the basic. I'm going to do the basic equation with you guys one more time. And I know this might sound condescending, but we have to assume there are people watching this who are not necessarily pro-Israel, because luckily, Baruch Hashem, mashallah, my channel reaches people on the other side frequently. I blame my handsome looks, but let's say it's the algorithm. Ladies and gentlemen, Palestinians, every time they've received independence, every time they've had independence, the first thing they run to is not peace. It's not even their own sovereignty. It's not protection of their ethnic minorities. It is killing Jews. Haj Amin al-Husseini, the only historic leader, religious leader of Palestine, the only one that exists. Literally, his premise was to collaborate with the Nazis to ethnically cleanse the Jews, not just from Palestine, but from the entire Middle East. That is how my family, my Iraqi family, ended up here, because of a Palestinian man. Yes? Are we all? That's the first Palestinian leader, notable Palestinian leader in history. Every single Palestinian leader since then has had the objective of murdering Jewish people. Next, anytime they've received independence. Now remember, they had somewhat control over this land when Haj Amin al-Husseini was in power. They had Ottomans, so at least Islamic power was there. And when the British, they definitely favored the Palestinian Arabs more than they did the Palestinian Jews. So, every time they've had their independence or their sovereignty or their power, they've always resulted in murdering Jews. Yasser Arafat, Mahmoud Abbas, Abu Mazen, which is Mahmoud Abbas, Yahya Sinwar, Ismail Haniyeh. Every single leader, his objective has been to murder Jewish people. Every single leader. Every single group, objective has been to murder Jewish people. People always come to me with this bullshit of like, well, Israel funded Hamas. Yeah, there was not a period of time in the history of the Palestinian people where the main objective was not to murder Jews. Israel has also tried to make some political decisions, which ended up being mistakes. But it's not like it had an option of like Hamas and then a Palestinian peace group, and it chose a terrorist group. It had Hamas and the PLO, or Hamas and Fatah. It had a terrorist group versus a terrorist group. So when choosing who to fund your enemies, I guess Israel decided to fund enemies they thought were either a worse threat or would help them objectively. Ended up being a mistake. We can all look at it and say it was a mistake. But it's not like at any point in time Palestinians didn't choose terrorism. Like, we have to put that on the record real quick. It's not like at any point in history Palestinians said, you know what? Let's not fucking kill people. Let's not do the terrorism shtick. The baseline has always been terrorism. The baseline has always been murdering Jewish people in this land. Pre-state, post-state, and then you give them Gaza. They receive their independence. 2 years later, they're firing thousands of rockets at innocent civilians. You give them territorial occupation over their own land in the West Bank. What is the first thing they do? Start stabbing people. Start blowing themselves up on buses. And then the international community says, you know what? We know what the solution is. Let's reward them with independence again. Palestinians are incapable at the moment with their current cultural and narrative framework to govern themselves. Don't believe me? Ask a Palestinian. Ask a Palestinian how they feel about their fellow Palestinians. Ask a Palestinian Arab from Jerusalem, a Muslim, how they feel about the Christian Palestinians in Tel Aviv. Ask them. And then you tell me if that society is capable of governing itself at the moment. Could it happen in the future? Potentially. But there's no ethical justification to creating a state. And I'm happy that this man, Nadim, is able to realize that. I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you long time. Goodbye, Klotz.
If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat, or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.